No Cup Series race this past weekend as it was Easter Sunday. I hope everybody had a great Easter. I definitely did. However, we did have an O'Reilly and Truck Series race at Rockingham. I hope we get a Cup Series race there again one day because the racing is really, really good. I want to go over the truck race, the O'Reilly race, and a couple other storylines. Cleetus McFarland made his first O'Reilly Series start at the Rock. We'll talk about him in a little bit. And also the Daniel Dye situation. We have more news on that. Once again, guys, I am Jake. You're watching Main Motorsports, and let's get into it. So we'll just start with the truck race at Rockingham. Cory Heim, once again, wins. Not even racing full-time in that Tricon Garage #1 truck, the team he raced for last year that he won 11 races with, and the championship. Same team, different car, and he beat his old car, Caden Honeycutt, to the line, led 178 laps, gets his second win of the season, and he only participated in 3 of the 5 races so far. What's even crazier is that despite not being in every single race, he is the points leader. Cory Heim is the points leader despite missing 2 races. He is tied, I believe, with Caden Honeycutt, but he has the tiebreaker due to more wins. Chandler Smith, who finished 4th at Rockingham, would have been the points leader. However, his car got disqualified in post-race inspection. Cory Heim is just so good. Again, the fact he does not have a full-time run in any of the 3 series is mind-boggling. He can win like any week. If you had the choice to do it, if I was like the owner of Tricon or whatever, just like give him a waiver to compete full-time for the rest of the year and like lock up that championship. It's a dub at this point. He's going to get the championship if he were to run full-time, but he's not eligible because he's not full-time. But if he was, I think he would easily win the championship. Real question about Cory Heim is like, where will he go in 2027? I know Legacy Motor Club's having a 3rd car next year, Toyota. Could he potentially replace Riley Herbst at 2311? I think that would be the best bet, but I think since Riley Herbst has the sponsorship, 2311 won't want to let him go that easily. But Cory Heim, like having the talent he has, his talent should be attracting sponsors. I would want to sponsor this man for winning all these races. Not Riley Herbst, who, while he's rich, like he can't win. He's running 30th every single week. Maybe on a good day, 25th. But Cory Heim will do much better in that 35 car. I hope they make it the 67 car full time. So it's like 23, 45, 67, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'd be pretty sick. And then the O'Reilly series. William Sawalich gets his first career win for Joe Gibbs Racing. Very good for him. The first Minnesota-born driver to win in any of NASCAR's top 3 divisions. Let's go Minnesota. My uncle's from Minnesota. Doesn't really have anything to do with the video, but I just want to point that out. Like Minnesota, dude. William Sawalich, I think, is like 19 years old. He ran the full-time season last year in that 18 car. Had a rough start. Did not make the playoffs, but like past the halfway point of 2025, he really started putting some good runs together. Top 5s, top 10s. However, at Talladega in the fall that year, he had a pretty vicious crash, and he was concussed. I believe it was the last 2 races were Martinsville and Phoenix. I think he missed those 2 races. So far this season, though, he's been running pretty well. Joe Gibbs Racing was off to a pretty bad start, though, in the O'Reilly series, but he gets his first career win. Corey Day dominated this race, won both the first 2 stages, led 80 laps over his teammate Brandon Jones, who finished second. So a good 1-2 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing. Very good job, William Sawalich. I have high hopes. I think he'll get another win or 2 this season. For being as young as he is, it's just a great story. Coming back from a concussion is not easy. Concussions are obviously a big deal, especially in racing. Look what happened to Alex Bowman the last couple of years. Kurt Busch's career-ending concussion. Concussions are no joke, and people don't always fully recover from concussions. So it's good to see William Sawalich still performing at such a high level. Gets his first win. Great story for the 19-year-old kid from Minnesota. The racing was so fun, both races. I just love how the Rockingham Speedway has so much banking for being a smaller track. I love these high-banked, smaller tracks like Darlington and Bristol. Those provide some of the best racing in NASCAR. Cars are slipping and sliding. The cars are never even secure. Not even on the front straightaway. The front straightaway is curved. So it's like they're never even secure. Cars are always getting loose. It's hard. And speaking of a hard racetrack to race, Cleetus McFarland made it home in one piece. Hallelujah. I love Cleetus McFarland. He is amazing for the sport. His funny, outgoing personality, his popular YouTube channel that obviously is bringing a bunch of people from outside the NASCAR world into NASCAR. However, I'm worried. I do not want him to become an industry plant. NASCAR knows that when he's in the races, more people are going to watch because he has a big fan base outside of NASCAR. Getting this opportunity at RCR in the O'Reilly Series with little to no stock car racing experience at all. And it showed, obviously. His first start was better. It was better than his truck race at Daytona when he spun out by himself on lap 4. Didn't crash. He didn't finish last. He did finish 6 laps down. He did self-spin later in the race, but he made it home in one piece, did better than his truck race. I don't want this to be the norm, he's going to race this week and that week, and he's just going to run sub-30s in a good car. Because the more it happens, the less people are going to want to watch just for Cleetus McFarland. I think he should do a full-time season in ARCA first. Again, he's made a handful of starts in ARCA. He just finished 4th in the ARCA race at Rockingham. He's not bad in ARCA, and he's a great figure for the sport, but he's being rushed. People work their whole lives to get to the top level of stock car racing. Cleetus hasn't really had to work that hard. All the stuff he did outside of the racetrack in his YouTube channel and his fundraising and his charity, yes, that's great. But I just don't want everybody to give up on Cleetus if he doesn't perform within the next year or two. Because again, he has really no experience. But it's good for NASCAR if he's in the races because a lot of outside fans are going to want to watch. I hope, though, he gets the proper treatment, does a bunch of ARCA races, maybe an occasional truck race here. Don't throw him into a cup race next year. That could happen. You see how easy he got this O'Reilly opportunity. So we all remember Danica Patrick. She was blatantly rushed to cup just for the hype. And she was pretty good at IndyCar. She moved to NASCAR because IndyCar was kind of a dead series at the time. NASCAR was getting all the fans. She was rushed to cup and did nothing for 5 years. One of the worst drivers we've seen. But since people know, Danica Patrick, she's the girl race car driver. She's a model. I'm going to tune in for her. And then as the years went on, her relatively positive reputation was tarnished by the end of her career. I do not want that happening to Cleetus. 2 very different figures, 2 very different people. But it's kind of the same pathway so far. But he did bring the car home in one piece, so that's great. And one last thing I want to touch up on is Daniel Dye. I made a video about him after he got suspended a couple weeks ago. He is reinstated by NASCAR. As I predicted, he got reinstated. He's allowed to drive again. However, he is no longer at Kaulig Racing in that 10 truck. Corey LaJoie will race the rest of the season in that 10 truck for Kaulig Racing. Kaulig and Daniel Dye parted ways. I did not expect this. I honestly just expected because Daniel Dye has the relationship with Ram that he would just get his ride back. But luckily it didn't work out that way because he needs to learn something from this experience. He's reinstated though, so if a team wants to sign him, he can race now. He's cleared. But he's now done with Kaulig Racing. No cup race though, but I do want to go over just the Cup Series point standings for a little fun, because why not? Let's do it. Let's see who's in the chase right now. Who's hot and who's not. Tyler Reddick is 80 points ahead of Ryan Blaney, who's in second. Blaney's been second to third pretty much the entire year besides Daytona. He's been consistent, has the win at Phoenix. A lot of stage points for Blaney. Denny Hamlin is now in third. Many good races after Daytona and Atlanta. He got the win at Las Vegas, finished second at Martinsville. Chase Elliott just got the win at Martinsville. Fourth. William Byron's been consistent all year. 5th place. Those 5 guys have been up front pretty much a majority of the year so far. Ty Gibbs all the way up to 6th after being sub 30th in points after the first 2 races of the season at Daytona and Atlanta. He's now clawed his way back up to 6th place. 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s. That first win is definitely coming. It's not a question of if, it's when. Christopher Bell, I think, has had a pretty up and down year, but he's solidly in 7th place. Still got 4 top 10s to his name. Brad Keselowski. I love that. 8th in points. All the RFK cars are pretty comfortably in the chase right now. Brad K, though, healing, or rather nursing his broken leg. That's a great story. He has 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Had that incredible race at Darlington when he won both stages, finished second. I think he just finished like top 15 at Martin. He's just been clicking off solid finishes. The days that he's good, he's really good. The days that he's off, he still gets a finish out of it. Good for Brad Keselowski. I'm so happy for him. Kyle Larson, a little lower than I would expect at this point. 9th in points. He'll easily make the chase, no problem. But he had the big mistake at Darlington when he kind of hit the wall by himself. Lost a bunch of spots. He would have probably been closer to the top 5 if not for that. But now we'll never know. But still, 9th place for Kyle Larson. Still got 4 top 10s so far. I have no doubt in my mind he'll get a win or 2 soon. Plus, we go to Bristol, and that's like arguably his best racetrack. Chris Buescher solidly in 10th place. Quiet consistency. Chris Buescher does it again. 3 top 10s for him so far, doing a nice little job. They're tied with Kyle Larson. Actually, there's a 4-way tie between Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher, and Bubba Wallace for 8th place. Bubba Wallace was in the top 3 in points basically all season until the last 2 races. Great day at Darlington, went south when he got damage and went a few laps down, had no speed in that car after it got the damage, finished sub-30s. And then after the incident with Carson Hocevar, he would have probably gotten the top 15. He ended up DNFing, finishing somewhere down in the 30s, lost a bunch of points. In 2 races, Bubba goes from top 3 in points all the way down to 11th. He's tied for 8th, but he's listed as lowest of those 4 guys tied for the same position. Logano had a great day at Martinsville, much needed. He is now up to 12th in the point standings. Kind of a slow year for that 22 car so far. Ryan Preece, the 3rd and last RFK car, 13th place. I predicted earlier in the season that Ryan Preece would make the chase. Then these 3 guys right here. SVG in 14th, Carson Hocevar in 15th, and Daniel Suarez round out the 16 chase drivers right now. Suarez is currently 9 points above 17th Michael McDowell, his teammate. So all 3 of the Spire cars are 15th, 16th, and 17th right now. It's going to be some friendly competition trying to get those final chase spots. And SVG has been literally carrying Trackhouse on its back. Another solid 11th place finish at Martinsville. His oval craft is getting so much better. Chastain's decently below the cutoff line. Zilich is like 30th in points. So SVG, despite not being an oval guy, is kind of turning into an oval guy. So good for him. I'm very excited for Bristol. I wonder what's going to happen because 2 of the last 4 races have been tire lotteries when the tires just completely shred. Do not lay any rubber down. Those have been fun races. But the races that don't have those tire lotteries with the next-gen car have been boring. Wide tires, lack of horsepower. Short track racing hasn't been as good. But we have the higher horsepower this year. So I'm curious to see with the past tire history in the next-gen car at Bristol, what's going to happen this time. Will we get a tire lottery, or will the tires not wear at all? Or somewhere in the middle? Thank you guys for tuning in. I also want to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. It means a lot. It gives me this confidence, man. I want to keep making more like content for you guys. I try my best. But thank you so much. Shout out to my cousin Chad for being my 200th subscriber. My boy Chad. I love Chad, dude. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, though. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, and peace.